They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they're literally
cook them. They are massaging the public's opinion on her client. I'm calling it. I am declaring it a mistrial right now. I just want to start off our Luigi Mangione coverage before we dive into Luigi Mangione's first court appearance in New York. I just want to show you, you know, what the news media is saying. Okay? Here is New York Post. Now, as you guys know, New York Post is a dish rag. Okay? They write the worst articles of all time. That's their job. This is what they do. But also, in the process of writing the worst articles of all time, they sometimes end up writing really funny headlines. Okay? I'm going to read this out. Luigi Mangione oddly wears matching outfit with his lawyer in New York City court hearing, to his sick fans' delight. It's sick. His sick fans' delight. It's sick. Disgusting. Yeah, I guess we're a bunch of sick fans. We're crazy. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Also, here's put it on. Here's what happened. I guess they were twinning. I don't know how that occurred. I don't know how that happened. But New York Post writes headlines, not articles. Well, why write an article when the headline can say it all?
Dude, how can we be wearing the same outfit? You saw me leave the apartment this morning.
I saw you put it on. I thought it looked nice.
I am sick and a fan. Yeah. By sick, they mean that we've had denied claims. Yes, that's what that means. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into it. Breaking news. Luigi Mangione pleads not guilty in a New York court. And obviously everyone's freaking the out. Luigi Mangione, as you guys know, I'm going long on this. This is massive. This is huge. There's a lot of misinfo spreading on this as well. Luigi Mangione was seen wearing a $1,000 Maison Margiela sweater at the Manhattan Criminal Court in New York. First and foremost, what if he was wearing that? Is it illegal? Is it illegal to look good? Maison Margiela has incredible pieces. Some of them are really big misses. Some of them are hits. Who cares? Okay. Maybe he likes fashion. Now, of course, that's not the case. He wasn't wearing the Margiela burgundy washed lamb's wool sweater, which, by the way, isn't $1,000. As you can see, even on Essence, it is $751 because it's 26% off. So shut up. Fake news double time. Okay. And secondly, the information provided is false. Luigi isn't wearing a washed lamb's wool sweater from Bordeaux from Maison Margiela. As pointed out by journalists such as Antonio Padilla, he is wearing the washable merino crewneck sweater in Burgundy Royale from Nordstrom. Okay. But like, why are we pocket watching this man? I don't understand it. What is this? Like, this is not an argument. Okay. This is not. Anyway, I don't even think that account was trying to hit him. Bro got on the I'm a patsy fit. Okay, first of all, he looks good. I don't know why people are on him. I don't know why people are on him. I like the sartorial choice. He looks like a nice, handsome, young lad. Okay? Because innocent until proven guilty means he's innocent. He hasn't been proven guilty yet. You don't know he did that. He's innocent. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Could have picked a different collar, though. Yeah, maybe. Walter Masson was outside the court, by the way, it seems. So we'll obviously dive into that as well. Get a little bit more feedback from the Hogwatch, or maybe the Pogwatch, as a matter of fact. Let's continue.
How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Damn! Damn! Look at the way he said that. That's right. If he was guilty, he would have said it. If he was guilty, he would have said it. Also, why are there 4 cops behind him like this? Let me replay that. Let's replay that. Let's replay that. Case closed.
In the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Yeah, no, he's not guilty. He said it right there. He said it right there. Not guilty. Also, what has happened? Is this normal? Am I, maybe I'm not aware of this, but like, is this normal? Like, I feel like they're going to put the Hannibal Lecter thing on his head. You know what I mean? Like every single time I see this motherfucker, he is surrounded by cops. Like he is a supervillain, dude. Why are there 4 cops on him? Like, do they think that he has like, do they think that he's just like a John Wick style guy? Like he's just going to use the pen to execute people in the courtroom? Like what the is going on? This man, he can turn everything in his vicinity into a weapon. There are CEOs in this room as well. If there is a CEO anywhere near him, he will kill them. Like, I don't understand. Like, actually, what do you think about his lawyers? With lawyers, with defense attorneys, the bigger the piece of shit they are, the better it is. And through transitive property, like her husband is Diddy's lawyer. So automatically I assume that this is a family of like piece of defense attorneys. So I'm always on board. You know what I mean? For defense, you have to be a scumbag. Okay. For defense, you have to be a scumbag. And I think like, considering that her husband is literally, Diddy's lawyer, I would assume that they're, you know, I would assume that she's also a scumbag too. So that's a good thing. It's a benefit. Isn't the judge's husband a former Pfizer executive? Yeah, I have heard that the judge is presiding over the Luigi Mangione case is married to a former Pfizer executive. More about the judge here. It is a unique situation. In this case, the prosecutors might be bigger scumbags. Yeah, but Alvin Bragg is an incompetent scumbag, it seems. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But you really do want a defense attorney to be a piece, like a real slime bag. You know what I mean? You want that, like. Get him off on technicalities, whatever it takes. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, we have a copy of the indictment, notice of immigration consequences, as well as rap sheet. I believe the court has it. We give the court an extra copy and one to counsel. Does the court wish that we be heard with respect to bail? Well, what is the situation?
There's also some good points that Luigi's lawyer brought up as well, the defense attorney on this case, like in terms of all of these like extraneous circumstances, like the mayor of New York using the perp walk as a political opportunity to basically declare him a terrorist before the trial is over. Like it's crazy. So anyway, we'll see.
As we understand that we have primary jurisdiction, and we have been informed by the U.S. Attorney that they intend on allowing us to try our case first. So with respect to whatever goes on there, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the trial and the sentencing will take place here prior to anything that takes place in the federal system.
Yeah, the burden of proof is also on the prosecution. You mean? You could not type that at all, UB. The burden of proof. She said pardon. She said prosecution. The burden of proof is also on the prosecution. God damn. Rather than the defense, the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did the crime, and all the media has been doing is working to undermine that. Yeah. They're basically setting it up so that like everyone that's in that jury already has a well-established bias against our boy Luigi Mangione, which will already happen. Okay. That bias is already baked in because he's Italian, and we all know Italians are not white. Okay. You're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers, okay? And Luigi Mangione stands alone in American society, peerless. Who amongst us, mere mortals, could ever actually match up and be a peer to the likes of Luigi Mangione?
What you just said, the answer is it's fine if we take custody today.
That I'm not sure of, because Your Honor signed a writ in which it says that we're going to return the defendant to federal custody. So I think that would be step 2. I do think that logically, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the custody should be here. But I asked the court, in light of the court signing the writ indicating that we would return him to federal custody, that be done at a later time?
Well, I've been through this before, and if you do that, they will raise you right out of your. So don't think I'm going to do that. But if you work it out with them, that we will take custody rather than us bringing them back for any proceedings, that'll be great.
We will make every effort to accomplish that, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna lie, even this many cops on a person who's like not a risk to literally anyone is already massaging public sentiment in general, because it's like you're making it seem as though he is this like devastating serial killer. You know what I mean? Like this killed one CEO allegedly. We don't even know. Okay, we don't even know if he did it. We don't even know if he's guilty. But like even then, I understand why you would have this many cops on, like, I don't know, like a incredibly violent serial killer or some, right? Like I get it. Sometimes you're worried that like, especially if you have like a sociopathic, bloodthirsty criminal or whatever, you might need to do that in an effort to make sure that they can be apprehended if they step out of line or if they do something crazy or whatever. But like this is not the case. Like you can't do that. And I feel like the defense is already heightening that juxtaposition, heightening that contradiction here by putting him in a nice little merino wool sweater with a shirt underneath it. You know what I mean? Like he's just like a handsome young white boy. So you can't really do that. Like it would be much harder. It would be much harder to play to the crowd and showcase that this is a bright-eyed young boy with his future ahead of him. If there's like pre-existing biases, but you can't really do that for him. He's just a chill guy, you know? He looks like just a chill guy.
Yeah.
There should be some mechanism that you go here.
Absolutely.
And then you can do that. All right, is there any further?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to make a record, if that's okay with Your Honor. First, we'd request immediate, expedited discovery in this case. The people have had this case for about almost 3 weeks, and that's more than enough time to gather as much information as they can give to us, especially now that we have two proceedings that we have to answer to, one of them being death eligible. So we are requesting that we get immediate discovery of the New York City Police Department and FBI and federal and state documents. And the second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they're literally treating him like he...
Cook them. I didn't miss it at all. She's right. They are massaging the public's opinion on her client. This dog and pony show cannot go on. Every goddamn American has a right to a fair and free trial in this country. Okay? Mistrial. I'm calling it. I am declaring it a mistrial right now. This is a kangaroo court. Do you think Lola will come on to discuss this? Don't worry. I have the people's defense attorney on the line. Well, not today, but maybe soon. Who knows? Maybe someone will actually participate in socialismus, as a matter of fact. Who knows? We'll see. A Jewish man and a Muslim man doing socialismus for all you Christians. What's up? Oh, you want to order food? Okay. No. The only update is
is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
This is disgusting. The cop right above Luigi looks like Girthmaster. You are sick. You are sick of the mind. You have a sick soul, chatter. You understand me? Your soul is corrupted. You have a corrupted soul.
He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows,
what's ironic, of course, is that like the New York City mayor already guilty. Okay, the New York City mayor. I mean, actually, I don't know. Did his trial go through already? No. He didn't undergo. Wait, did he? Did his trial end up already? He has a federal investigation launched against him. He's still being. I think he's indicted. He was already indicted. Luigi Mangione hasn't even been indicted yet at that point. He hasn't even pled not guilty. He's indicted. Trial in April. Okay, here.
under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second.
And he is dead to rights. He is guilty. He is guilty as. Okay, I'll say it. He's guilty. Luigi, we don't know. We don't know if he is.
Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded.
Call him. Call him out. Call him out. Call his criminal ass out.
Own issues, and frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione, and there are consequences to this. He has a right to a fair trial, and I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example, and he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love. And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected.
Yeah. Also, even the cops behind him are maintaining this charade. The notion that he is like a extra scary criminal. I'm willing to bet they're gonna not even let him wear like casual clothes later down the line too, once he's like in prison. I don't know how it works behind the scenes in New York though. Like, I don't know if there are rules and restrictions and regulations around it, but I do think that Luigi Mangione's judge being married to a former healthcare executive kind of creates some semblance of a conflict of interest. Like, obviously judges themselves can still be impartial in this circumstance, but I don't know. But yeah, the judge in the Luigi Mangione case is married to a former healthcare executive. Pretrial judge in the case involving the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson owns millions in stock, including pharma and healthcare. Magistrate Judge Catherine H. Parker, who's overseeing the pretrial hearings for Luigi Mangione, is married to a former Pfizer executive and holds hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock, including in healthcare companies and pharmaceutical companies, according to her 2023 financial disclosures. The judge's ties to the healthcare business are a stark reminder of how pervasive the for-profit industry is in American life, a point made by Mangione himself. Parker's husband, Brett Parker, left Pfizer in 2010, where he served as a vice president and assistant general counsel after holding the same titles at Wyeth, a pharmaceutical manufacturer purchased by Pfizer. According to Parker's disclosures, her husband Brett still collects a pension from his time at Pfizer in the form of a Senior Executive Retirement Plan, or SERP. Now, this is just a pretrial judge, but even then, I declare mistrial over conflict of interest. This is a mockery of our wonderful legal institutions. The judge must recuse herself. Isn't this the same as Trump saying, lol, my judge's daughter runs DNC? It's a conflict of interest or whatever. I don't think Trump's judge's daughter ran the DNC. I don't know what level of involvement. I think it was more so that they had like donated to the Democrats or something. What was it? Like, it's a little bit different when you're directly married to someone who is a pharmaceutical executive, when the trial that you're adjudicating would be over the execution of a pharmaceutical executive. In all seriousness, the fact that there's no good mechanism for dealing with judicial conflicts of interest and disclosures is such a core failing of the supposedly great system. Here, Trump has done this a lot. Trump once, for example, here, I'll give you an example of Trump that was like completely inappropriate and ridiculous and also very racist. Trump claimed that a judge could not properly adjudicate his court case because he was of Mexican descent. Okay? Like, there was a American judge overseeing one of his court cases, and Trump straight up said, well, he's Mexican, so he can't be impartial because he has Mexican heritage. Like, that is just pure ridiculous racism. Okay? You can't do that. You can't just be like, excuse me, I'm a racist and my judge can't be a black person, right? That would be ridiculous. But in a situation where like you have a direct conflict of interest because you have like either a financial tie to the industry and this person is like, like you can do that. He did it. I'm saying that was a ridiculously racist demand. that is regardless is a ridiculously, that's just pure racism. That's all that is. Like, there's no other way that you can deal with that.
Him, that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Well, as you know, I have very little control of what happens outside of this court. But I can guarantee you, as I guarantee every defendant who comes through these doors, that the defendant will receive a fair trial. And we will carefully select a jury if that time comes or when that time comes. But yes, we should expedite discovery.
Your Honor, the discovery in this case is voluminous, to say the least. I have never seen a case.
Oh, shut up, voluminous. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of evidence. Oh, volumes of evidence. No, you don't. Shut up, bozo. You don't got no evidence. Okay? You don't got no evidence.
Case with such volume of evidence, aside from the issue of the quality of the evidence. And I suggest to counsel, because we have a discovery portal, but given how much evidence there is against this defendant, it would be smarter if counsel could provide us with a 2 terabyte external drive rather than rely on the crashing of the portal. With respect to statement and identification notice, we will be giving that notice within the next 15 days. We're preparing an ADF. We'll do our best to expedite discovery, but I'll say that
as someone who knows and has worked with Brett closely over several years and has occasionally interacted with Catherine on small scale things, her presiding over the pretrial hearings is not great. They both have tremendous influence and reach in New York legal community. Damn. Well, it's just a pretrial judge. They have a lot of security camera footage of the guy who actually did it, Mario. Yeah, you have a lot of security camera footage, but you don't know if it's him. You don't know if it's him. You can't tie it back to him. New York City is the New York of America. Lots of people. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Okay? There's nothing you can't do. That's all I'm going to say. That means that Luigi Mangione could have randomly walked past that area. Okay? Many people do. Okay? Millions of people walk past that crowded area. So it's really messed up that they just think that, you know, this ties him back in some way to the scene of the crime. I'm just saying. Yeah, this was really funny as well. I thought this was a hilarious way to counter the narratives. Okay.
With redactions and with the volume of it, we're hoping to do it as best we can under, this is not a usual case in terms of the thousands of hours of video tracking and the like, and the fact that we're not only responsible for discovery in this county, but in Altoona, where the arrest was made and where several officers were involved. And we're in touch with those people, and we're going to get everything counsel's entitled to. As to other issues, I think a 30-day adjournment to see where we're at, and to, of course, counsel's aware of the various notices. We have notices as well. I take it that counsel will abide by the statutory limitations on their notices with respect to any notices they believe to be appropriate. As to counsel's record on the mayor, basically repeating what the mayor said, I don't know how that advances the ball. We will comply with our ethical obligations with respect to trying this defendant's guilt in this courtroom and this courtroom alone. Thank you.
All right, so
What the happened? What is happening? Bro, this mother mewing all the time, by the way. That's crazy. Look at this. Look at this man. Look at this man, dude. Look at this man. Dog, aren't you like 35? I'm 33, and I can still recognize when someone is mewing hard as okay. As a 33-year-old man, I can still recognize and appreciate when someone is doing some
United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is pleading not guilty.
Game recognized game, baby. New York gays, you need to do better. Luigi Mangione had about 24 women in the court's public gallery today to support him. ABC News reports. Dude, that's so funny. That is so awesome. The people really needed a champion in these trying times. You know what I mean? He's not mewing. He has severe back pain. He's clenching his jaw in pain. Why do people keep saying this? Okay, I like that people are being parasocial with Luigi Mangione. Like, woke of the day. I don't even know if it's woke of the day. Follow up. What is this? They're still tallying the men. I do find this stuff funny because, like, obviously Pop Crave isn't posting this because like ABC News is posting this because they want to be like, oh, they only care about him because he's hot. Okay. Like they're trying to undermine why people find him to be why people find him to be personable. CBS reported the same. In addition to a long stream of journalists waiting for the suspect to appear, members of the public, almost all of them young women, were in court, some of whom told CBS, BBC's U.S. partner, that they were there to show their support. Yeah, they're trying to angle this as like, oh, because he's like white and hot. That's the only reason why people care about this. Luigi Mangione stuns in court. Yeah.
26-year-old suspect entered that plea in a Manhattan courtroom earlier this morning as his attorney argued her client.
Literally what your ops say about you. Listen, all I'm going to say is a lot of the stuff that people are, I let's just say I have close and personal experience with people constantly being like, people constantly pocket watching and people constantly saying that you would have zero fans if you weren't so hot. Okay, I know what it's like. Not to, I have done nothing in comparison to, Luigi's actions here. Let's be real. I am but a man, a simple man. But
client is being treated unfairly.
He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was.
Do you see the It Paul song some guy made about Luigi? I did. This was incredible. I love this kind of dead end 2014 style It Paul because it's unfalsifiable. You can just say, well, everyone would hate this guy who's going to die in prison if he was an Indian guy who was ugly, and no one can disprove it. You actually didn't say anything, but you had fun. Yeah, it's fantastic. I saw this like hilarious jib jab style identity politics video, and it's fantastic. Let's watch.
I can't believe that he got taken inside. Now they show my face and race us for me online. Don't call me a terrorist, cause I got a six-pack and a jawline.
I just need you to understand something. Riffs in pretty privilege. This person is British alert. I don't know what this person is. I don't know what their deal is. But what is hilarious about this is like this is the type of shit that I thought we had left behind. You know what I mean? This kind of commentary is so stupid. This dude's gonna rot in prison if he's found guilty. You know what I mean? The federal government is trying to hit him on additional charges so they can give him the death penalty. And there are still being like, I don't like the broad reception of this person. I'm just jealous.
Cause destruction to corruption, just make sure that you're fit and white. If I was black, Popo would shoot me on sight. But now I'll probably get a shot.
It's also crazy because like he's comparing Luigi Mangione to like straight up serial killers. You know what I mean? What the who is this for? Like, who is this for? This is what I don't understand also. Like, who is this for? What is the target market for this? Who is the target audience for this? Like, it's just basically a demonstration of your own personal securities. That's it. Target audience feds. Like, who watches this and goes, you know what? You brought up some really good points. We read the article version of this already. The Root wrote an article about this where they were like, the Root wrote an article about this basically saying the same shit. Where it's like, Luigi Mangione, if he was black, he'd be treated differently. It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, the broad reception would be different for sure. It's ironic because it's perpetuating the media narrative while getting mad at what he thinks the media narrative is. I know. But he's not even mad at the media in this situation. He's mad at the audience reception of Luigi Mangione, because the media reception of Luigi Mangione is desperately trying to present him as this like very scary, the biggest villain of all time, the #1 terrorist. Like, you have to not like this guy. Okay. And yet people are still like, nah, we like this guy. F you. And it's happening at a time when they're trying to make it prosecutable to even openly say, I like Luigi Mangione, I don't really care. Same people say systemic racists are real. What do you mean? Systemic racism is real. That is real. But in this circumstance, using a very real concept, to basically hammer in identity politics, like hollow identity politics, without recognizing the systemic harms that have played into the audience's reception of Luigi Mangione is idiotic. You're just dialed in on a very specific narrative. There's a difference between reacting to the hypocrisy of comparable events versus imagining if a singular event was different.
Big smile on every front page. I know the headlines say my future was bright.
Even his audience is like, where's what thing? It's not here yet. Also, you got to do an additional pick. Oh, it's let me see.
Don't fight the systems that oppress you unless you are fit and white.
Anyway, his audience also didn't really receive this positively. Said, come on, man, no war but class war. His whiteness is undeniably a factor, but there's also real anger at the healthcare system causing people to emphasize, right? Am I the only one who remembers the massive outpouring of support starting before anybody knew what he looked like? I know you're British, as am I, so the idea of privatized healthcare is a bit alien to us, but the USA... it literally means life or death to people. The CEO is the face of a cruel industry. I think this one is a miss. It's a class issue. People are rallying behind before any pictures were released. Nah, not it. Come on, buddy. This ain't it. Yeah, even his own audience is like yelling at him over it. And when I see stuff like this, when I see stuff like this, I think to myself, like, I mean, this is opportunistic, okay? This guy made fun of these identity politics media narratives. Yeah, I saw that one too. His whiteness is the reason he was arrested instead of killed by the cops. That's all this is. No, I think like if they had caught him in the act, like him being white would have probably factored into him not being killed. But like he got caught in a McDonald's, chatter. You know what I mean? Like there are differences, okay? There are differences in this situation. I think yes, him being white, him coming from a rich family, him being attractive, all of this definitely plays a role in the reception. Okay? All of this plays a role in his reception. That much is true. But it doesn't matter because ultimately, people did not know what he looked like, and they still immediately understood why he did it when they knew who the victim was, and also immediately were supportive of it. They were dunking on the victim. Okay? So I think it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult to parse through exactly what percentage his whiteness and his attractiveness plays into like his reception by not the media, obviously, but like by the broader society. But it doesn't matter. It's like so irrelevant to the point of contention unless the only thing you care about in this situation is just like hammering in white supremacy narratives in a circumstance where it doesn't really fit. You know what I mean? Like there are a million different instances where you could use or where you could talk about systemic racism, white supremacy, and the like. This unironically is not one of those narratives. Like it's just there is a broader class-based approach in the audience reception.
I'm going to say it. All you people who are
yeah, I saw. We watched this already. Also, he literally got charged with terrorism. So what the are you saying? Like he literally got charged with terrorism. So what's your point here? Are you saying that like it's appropriate that he got charged with terrorism and that because like the underlying assumption here is that you agree that his terrorism charge actually is correct and that you're more mad at the people not seeing him as a terrorist because he's white. Like what is happening? What's happening here? This is the least productive thing I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely unnecessary. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political.
I want to bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more on this. Brian, first, just your quick reaction to the plea here and these claims from his attorney saying that he's being treated unfairly.
This is a good point. If you wanted to insert systemic racism narratives, it would be about how whiteness no longer protects you when you challenge power. Because as you said, he's being charged as a terrorist, unlike Kyle Rittenhouse, Dylan Roof, etc. Exactly. There are very few instances where like domestic terrorists who have committed atrocious acts of violence like mass shootings and whatnot directed with a specific goal, with a specific purpose of like creating a race war in mind, written clearly, definitionally in their manifestos. There are very few instances where they actually do get slapped with terrorism charges. Okay? And he did. He got hit with the terrorism charge immediately. Think about that. His whiteness did not protect him because there are certain things that transcend beyond even white supremacy. And it is one of the live historical revisionism. What do you mean? There are certain things that transcend beyond racial boundaries. Okay? There are certain things that transcend beyond racial boundaries. You can come from a rich family. You can come from a white family. You could be white yourself. You go to the best schools. And the act in and of itself, if it is too disruptive to the pre-existing hierarchies, then yeah, you're going to get hit with everything. They're going to throw the book at you.
Unfairly, and the New York City authorities essentially are trying to score.
Why the lawyer changed? No, the lawyer didn't change. The lawyer that you saw was the Altoona lawyer because there's separate charges in Pennsylvania state as well because he was apprehended with a ghost gun and whatnot and with a fake ID. So there's two different courts There's two different trials. There's an Altoona, Pennsylvania trial for his Altoona apprehension. The small town lawyer that you saw in that big suit, the short guy, that's the Altoona lawyer. This is the New York lawyer. There's also a New York court case, and there will probably be a federal one as well if they follow suit, where there will be a third lawyer for the federal case.
Or political points here.
Yeah, so the plea seemed pretty procedural. It's an arraignment on an indictment in state court on federal charges, so you're expecting there to be a plea of not guilty, especially in where we are. But I agree with the defense attorney here, Karen Agnifilo, and ironically, she had a long tenure in the exact same prosecutor's office that she is now defending Luigi Mangione, so she knows better than probably anyone else as to how the city and its law enforcement conduct itself. But I agree with her. This seemed prejudicial. This seemed as a point to try to make that this was someone that the NYPD wanted to go after. The only issue, and I take a very slight issue, is I think other than law enforcement and maybe the mayor, not a lot of other people looked at this as a show of force. A lot of people looked at this as you're going too hard against Luigi Mangione, and I think it might have backfired against him in terms of the support for him.
How much do you think that was based on the support for him? Because one of the really unusual things about this case is that you have a suspected murderer being hailed as a hero in some parts of the internet, and in this case, by some people inside that courtroom and outside.
Yeah, I think it's multiple layers of this, right? So, and I think we probably heard this from other defense attorneys who have been on ABC as well. Typically, when one person kills another person in the state of New York, that is one, murder in the second degree, and two, the feds don't get involved. But now I think a lot of people are seeing that it's murder in the first degree, not for the typical reason that we see, killing a law enforcement officer, killing a first responder. Now they've made the legal arguments to make it that the killing of a CEO based on the response of others is now terrorism. And I think that people's perception of how this case is being handled, not only in the charges, but in the perp walk, is that there is a specialized form of prosecution that is inappropriate. And I think you're seeing that on social media, and you heard that as well in court.
And I want to bring in our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Aaron, you moved quickly. You were there in the courtroom when it happened. You were outside the court. Now here you are with us. What do you make of all this, and what did you think of what you saw, the way you saw it all play out in court today?
Well, first, Luigi Mangione is kind of an enigmatic figure. He doesn't express a lot of emotion. He doesn't appear to acknowledge the supporters that were in the courtroom, kind of kept straight ahead, only said not guilty. Those are the only words he spoke in court. Similarly, when I saw him in federal court last week, he didn't say much at all except to acknowledge that he understood what the judge was talking about. But in terms of the state and federal dual prosecutions, my friend Brian knows well, two things can be true at once. He could be stalking an individual, which is how the feds are charging it, and he could still have meant to make some kind of communal change in the way that CEO pay or healthcare is meted out or whatever he was allegedly trying to do by allegedly killing Brian Thompson. So the authorities are digging into his writings, trying to parse his motivation, and that will inform how the prosecutions go forward.
And Brian, in terms of that top charge, first-degree murder with the intent of furtherism of terror, I might be not saying that perfectly, but the furtherance of terrorism, how much are the writings that police are saying they found on him and found in the searches, how much is that going to come into play?
Bro's wearing his vest in honor of the CEOs, the fallen CEOs. If Luigi gets freed, will you try to get him on stream? Are you kidding me? He would be the best. Yeah. Also, yeah, they're calling him a fake socialist. Luigi Mangione was seen wearing a $1,000. I covered this earlier, but once again, a narrative I'm very familiar with. It has nothing to do with anything. Not even a socialist. It's crazy. This is the sweater. It's like $70. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Did you play the corrido yet? No. What? Do I sound triggered? He's not a corporate giant. The CEO could literally shoot Luigi in the back, kill him, and get away with it. Yeah. Why is this him walking in and out of the courtroom? All of this is the media desperately trying to reframe this as like a silly ass thing. Okay. This is entirely the media trying to reframe, trying to comprehend where all of this all of this like admiration is coming from. And two, they're simultaneously trying to belittle the reason why. Like they're trying to say to everybody else that reads the news that this is the reasons as to why people like him is because he's hot. It's just like it has nothing to do with his actions. It has nothing to do with how broken the healthcare system is, like the for-profit healthcare insurance structure works, and how violent it is inherently. Kyle Rittenhouse also came in hot and had to make this about himself. Okay. Luigi Mangione shot and killed a man in cold blood and tried to get away with it. I, on the other hand, defended myself after being chased down and violently attacked. Luigi and I aren't even remotely similar. If you compare my case to his, you have some serious problems. More media bias. I want to know how an entire streamable TV special in the midst of a high-profile case, framed in sinister colors and malevolent buzzwords, contributes to a fair trial. Manhunt, Luigi Mangione and the CEO Killer. 2020 special edition. Yeah. There is a phenomena, okay? There is definitely a phenomena around, I forget what the actual term is, but there is something about high profile like serial killers and whatnot and the fandom and the fanfare surrounding those people. But Luigi Mangione is not a high profile serial killer. Like comparing him to the likes of Charles Manson and the fangirls that Charles Manson got is so idiotic, is so stupid. Hybristophiliacs, is that what it's called? Shape and drape, slim fit. Hybristophilia is for sure a thing. This is not that.
In the prosecution's attempt to prove that charge.
So I think the writings for them is everything in trying to prove it. I firmly disagree with it personally. When you look at the statute, right, and the statute came out, I think, about it in 9/11. I myself have defended cases like this where they tried to use, for example, an individual who was cursing at law enforcement to not arrest him. And they say, well, that's terrorism because he's trying to influence a governmental entity. Here they're saying that his either his works or his actions is a way of trying to either intimidate or coerce a civilian population. That's the exact language from the statute. And they're trying to say that the writings that he had and the action that he did try to create what we're seeing now, and that's why it's terrorism. At least in my practice of almost over a decade now, I haven't seen these facts used to try to prove this statute in this way. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of defense attorneys saying this doesn't seem to work out.
But you have prosecutors who see the video, they see the writings, they see a dead guy on the streets of Midtown Manhattan, and they say, we can't just have this.
So they're trying to say he didn't just kill Brian Thompson to kill Brian Thompson. He killed Brian Thompson to scare a bunch of people and create change as a result of that fear.
But what do his notes say? His notes say, go whack the...
Okay, but like, if the broad reception of that is positive, I feel like you're just leaning into this. Like, leaning into this narrative is unironically going to present him as a folk hero. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen reports of people's like claims getting denied going viral on Twitter and whatnot, with like United Healthcare responding positively to the claim denials later down the line. If there's extra attention to the ways in which the for-profit healthcare sector works now, which is causing these other serial deniers to basically behave differently, then yeah, you're kind of proving his point. The action's illegality don't change the broader morality from a utilitarian perspective, of course. It's the trolley problem playing itself out. It's like you're pulling the lever, which is contributing to saving tens of thousands potentially of other people if you even were to account for the immediate the immediate change from Anthem. Laser Windbreaker is whack, but I dig it. I don't think it's whack. Yeah. Even if there is a study conducted later down the line, even if there's a study conducted where they found out that post Luigi Mangione, claim denials went down by 1%, 2%, 3%, no matter what the percentage is, that means that there was a genuine improvement, even if it's correlation and not causation. Okay, but even if there was a lack of denials that came in the immediate aftermath of this, that would quite literally save people's lives at that point. That's how fucked up and broken this system is. Okay,
to CEO. Go do this. They did something bad and wrong. His note seems to suggest that the killing is the action that he wanted. It doesn't seem like he's saying, CEOs, I'm going to kill one of yours because I want you to change these policies. I want you to do these things. That's terrorism.
Definitely something we'll be listening to from the case. Aaron, go ahead.
No, he called them parasitic. The health insurance companies maybe.
Of course, the guy wearing the puffer vest under his goddamn blazer is saying, oh, well, he's using dehumanizing language against CEOs for for-profit healthcare insurance companies. This is Nazi Germany.
Eyes of the prosecutors, he was trying to effectuate change.
And this is the point that I want to make. A lot of my clients as a public defender, legal aid society, had a lot of strong words for cops that they shot and killed. Why isn't that terrorism?
He went to law school. I didn't even.
I know. And we obviously we don't have to litigate it here, but I am just trying to get into.
Owned, by the way, owned. He's right. Owned.
What we will be listening for when this case starts to play out, and what the prosecutors and defense attorneys are talking about in that arraignment today. Aaron, I'm out of time, but quickly, what happens next here in the state case, which is what he pleaded not guilty to today, and in the federal one as well?
In the state case, he's due back in court in February. In the federal case, he's due back in court in January, unless and until federal prosecutors are successful in securing an indictment. I expect they will be, and he would be back in federal court sooner than that to similarly enter a plea. And that's when the contours of these cases will really begin to move forward.
All right, Aaron Couture.
All right, we're moving on to Walter Masterson, our boy on the ground. He went to the New York court to talk to the supporters that have been apparently flooding Luigi Mangione's arraignment.
Luigi back in the kitchen, dog. He was cooking.
Wow.
That's sick.
Let's go. That is my man.
Healthcare
is a human
right, not a privilege.
He's a result of what happens when you're in so much pain, the system doesn't care, can't help you.
To actually see that this is going on, I think it's criminal.
Arraignment. Did I say arrangement? Sorry.
So many Luigi Mangiones that they will all be popping out of the snow.
I am in front of the courthouse where Luigi Mangione is about to get arraigned. It is 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, and there are people here that showed up in solidarity. Okay, there you go. There you go. Let Luigi back in the kitchen, dog. He was cooking, all right? He was on a roll. Let him finish what he started, dog. Do you think healthcare is a human right?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Let's go. Talk to me.
You know exactly what's going on. And Mayor Adams, how dare you? You're an indicted thief trying to prosecute someone who's innocent. How dare you? This is bigger than CEOs and it's bigger than money. Our children have to have a future of health care as well. Free Luigi, he's innocent.
That is my man. That's my man. We all our man.
Okay, can we just talk about how the guy cannot take a bad picture? He's in cuffs. He's being walked around.
Every
He doesn't have...
pose he makes, he just looks wonderful.
Like, I'm
Haircut,
like-
eyebrows, everything on
Like
fleek.
every picture I see, I'm like, God damn it! Like,
Why are you this fine?
It's like little grainy surveillance footage. He's like, I got you.
Oh wait, makes sense though, Hakeem.
Yeah, of course. Wait, are you just realizing this now?
Yeah, it's just one of my posters.
I feel like if you want to kill someone, you should go to Wharton Business School and work for McKinsey, like everyone else.
Of course, that's the only way to do it in the United States.
Yeah. No, that's totally permissible. That's fine. That's actually good. It's encouraged. If you want to kill people, do it the legal way, please. Join the police force. If you want to kill people, do it the legal way, please. Go to business school, become a CEO. Excuse me. That's not only allowed, but it actually ends up boosting her profile. You get elevated.
That's right, if you want to get away with it.
You want to kill people?
Do it the right way.
Use AI.
Then you get away with it for a long time.
For me, it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem. I got into an electricity accident, and I herniated 2 discs in my neck and 2 in my lower back. And over the 2-year period that they made me wait, I was left with nerve damage. So I am now stuck with nerve damage for the rest of my life. I got 2 major surgeries last December and last October. And now they're saying that my medication is no longer long-term. So I have about 4 days left, and No insurance, no job, no money. I'm about to lose everything, so that's why I'm here today.
You think healthcare is a human right?
I think it is a human right, yes. We all deserve health care.
Are you here to support Luigi?
I am in support of the people. Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege.
There's gonna be so many Luigi Mangiones that they will all be popping out of the snow.
Who'd you guys vote for?
Damn, that guy got scared, dude. Even this guy was like, okay, lady, hold on now. Look at his face. He's like, all right, calm down.
Out of the snow.
Who'd you guys vote for in the last election?
I should have voted, but I did not.
I vote.
This is the thing that made you come out and say, all right, let's do this.
It felt a little more important, like I actually had a say in the matter. It didn't feel that important, but now I see it is important to also vote. It is.
You know what? The point is that I'm trying to show how people from across the spectrum are.
You made it to comedians discuss Luigi. United Healthcare. Wait, what? They put me as a comedian? Oh, no, Stavros. Y'all saw it. It was self-defense. Yeah. Dude, I saw that too.
I saw that, dude.
I saw that. He was
the
literally...
video cuts off. I live in New York. I was there that day.
Yeah.
The video cuts off.
Yeah, it's like really weird. He was brandishing it and saying, I'm going to shoot you, Luigi Mangione.
Luigi, I'm jealous of you. You have abs.
Yeah.
You have thick eyebrows I could never achieve.
Yeah, that's why I won't give you healthcare.
I won't give you healthcare because I'm jealous of you. And now get ready to suck my gun, you dirty Italian.
Yeah.
And then Luigi acted.
He was like, oh, I don't want to do this, please.
It wasn't him, by the way. It was another guy.
Yeah, it was another dude. It wasn't even Luigi. He mistook.
Yeah, he mistook.
The CEO
because the guy was
thought it was Luigi.
It kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
So it's all a big tragedy of errors here.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Just you know how incompetent these guys are.
It
the
was
police
self-defense
work,
plus
police
it wasn't
work.
him.
I think we did it.
I think we
should be his defense.
Someone put us
team.
on the line with Thomas. What was his name?
Thomas Dickinson or something.
Yeah, Tom
Dickey.
Tom Tricky Dickey.
We got this. We got this. He's acquitted instantly.
It wasn't him. It was Yoshi. I heard he killed him by actually throwing a red shell at him.
Yeah.
Talk about bad branding. They got him in Starbucks right before.
What?
Yeah, they got him on camera in Starbucks.
You watching this video featuring comedians thinking they meant you? Okay, calm down. I am comedian by proxy. Oh my God. We're supposed to sympathize with this thug. 463,000 likes, dude. They hit him with the he was no hero.
Showing up today. And you just demonstrated that. So thank you.
They're killing people every day with the healthcare system. And now one of them got killed who doing this to people. And they're going crazy. They're charging this guy with terrorism charges now.
It's pretty easy to see why people are galvanized behind this. We feel like we're all being slowly killed. I think a lot of people don't think they're going to make it to natural death, I think. The only reason we have not rebelled in this country is because we're so, we are able to be comfortable enough. And I think he's a result of what happens when you're in so much pain, the system doesn't care, can't help you, is inadequate. That's why you see everybody supporting him, Everyone's being exploited, charged thousands of dollars every month that they barely have, and then they get nothing out of it. They get sick, and it doesn't actually pay off.
We have universal health care in the UK.
So you're from London. Let me just start from the beginning. In America, we have this time-honored tradition called medical bankruptcy.
To actually see that this is going on, I think it's criminal. People being bankrupt because the health insurance is not paying out. We pay national insurance, which is taken straight from our paychecks. So it's taken straight out, and then everybody is covered for healthcare, basically. You can get...
Now, lad! He's got international hoes. Okay, stop. We've got the National Health Service. It's pretty nice.
Private healthcare if you choose, but you could literally, if you end up in A&E or you ended up with major surgery, you won't pay anything. And obviously I knew that this system existed in the US, but everything I've been seeing and people's stories on social media, I just can't believe it.
This taxpayer funded healthcare sounds gay, woke, and communist. Hell yeah, brother.